Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Friday's episode of Morning Brews. I'm super excited about this one because this topic actually kind of goes hand in hand with the book I'm writing that I'm going to have a draft in roughly about a month. You might start to see the cover art come out. However, today's topic is hard lessons are hard to learn, okay? And we're basically going to talk about three different ones just to give you some examples. Number one, you are who you hang out with. Number two, a true professional doesn't mind being reminded. Number three, building a business takes time. Okay, so number one, you are who you hang out with, and I titled this Hard Lessons Are Hard to Learn because these are some lessons that I have had to learn over and over and over again. Some of them I may still be learning again and again, but you are who you hang out with. If you are the average of your 5 closest friends, and your 5 closest friends are failed business owners, I'll just let you finish the anecdote from there. You can only be as good as the people you spend most of your time with. It's just like we talked about with the habits, and what you do most of the time is what matters. Okay? So if most of the time you're hanging out with people who like to eat junk food and not go to the gym, then even if you are a gym rat and eat healthy, eventually you're going to start to level down to the playing field where your 5 closest friends are. So, and this can be pretty difficult, but you always want to find those people who are better than you. I'm pretty lucky in my life with the people I spend my time around, them having seen successes in different aspects of their life where I have basically been granted access to that and insight to it. However, I want you to remember that just because you're spending the majority of your time around these people does not mean that that's what it's about. It's not about the coaching or the consultation. It's just about the fact that if you spend most of your time around someone, I'll use the gym as an example again, someone who goes to the gym 5 days a week or 2 times a day, 5 days a week, then eventually you're going to go to the gym. Maybe not on the same schedule, maybe not as frequently as them. However, if you're someone who doesn't go to the gym at all and you want to start going, or you go to the gym and you want to increase your workout program, you want to get more out of it, and whether you know how or you don't know how, we can read it all day. But when you find that person that goes 5 days a week, 2 times a day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, whatever the case is, eventually you're going to go to the gym with them, okay? And then you're going to find out, well, I go to the gym 5 days a week already, so I don't really need that. But I'm only going for 20 or 30 minutes at a time. And now you start to go with them and you start to hang out with them. You're going to the same gym and they're going for an hour or an hour and a half at a time. And then you find out, Ryan, it's not about how much time you spend in the gym if you're not doing something. You're exactly right. But the person who goes and runs for 20 minutes is not going to see the same progress as a person who goes and runs for 30 to 45 minutes and then also works out lifting weights or doing ab work, whatever the case may be. So that's my point when I say you are the average of your 5 closest friends. You are who you spend your time with. If you want to be a successful business owner, one good way of doing this is if you run a franchise, those franchises normally have some type of networking events where they get the owners of those franchises or the managers together in one place. Maybe it's a conference something along those lines. You attend that and you find the person who is performing the best in that franchise, and you say, listen, you're doing really well with yours. I want to be where you are someday. Let's connect. And next thing you know, maybe you're holding a weekly phone call. Maybe they're local to you and you start spending some time with them. I'm just saying, if you want to be up here, you have to hang out with people who are up here. So that's not to say that you have to get rid of your current friends or family because they're not going to do you any good. You know, I'll leave that decision up to you, but take stock of who you're spending your time around and find out if it's really benefiting you. If it's not, maybe you spend less time with this individual and more time with this individual. Okay, number 2, a true professional doesn't mind being reminded. And the first time I heard this, I wanted to punch the person in the face. However, it's 100% true. And I want you to think about what that means, okay? Because if you know everything there is to know about your craft or trade, okay, basically say you've spent 15 to 20 years working on it and developing it, and now you started a business in that trade, whatever the case is, more than likely, knowledge, experience, and technology has developed over that time. So there is always a chance that someone could come in the door who may know something different than you. I am not saying they know more. However, in situations where two people are working together like that, if you're working on a project, say you're working on a car, and you've done it your whole life and you know everything there is to know about it, and that person, they don't know what you know and what you don't know. So maybe they'll say, hey, don't forget to do this. In that situation, if you were already doing it or already going to do it, all you need to say is, thank you for the reminder. Because if you were already on it, what they said isn't going to affect you. And if you weren't, then it definitely was a reminder. And I would never want to discourage someone from contributing to the overall success of the team by telling them not to speak up. So if they want to remind me to do certain things, then I definitely want to take that into consideration and make sure I reward them by thanking them for the reminder so they continue to do it. Because when they're working with someone else, maybe that other person doesn't remember and they remind them, and then we get better as a team. And the third bullet point and the last thing I want to talk about is building a business takes time. I've talked about this multiple times before. I'm guilty of this just as much as the next person, but you can't just turn the key and have a business. It takes time. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of work. I've learned this just through podcasting. One of the reasons why I put out an episode 6 days a week now is because I saw analytics jump whenever I put content out, and then they kind of dwindled off after a little bit. And I said, if I can get the show to the top of my subscribers' library and provide content that is of value to them, then I can get more and more listeners, more downloads, and more attention on the show, as well as hopefully provide more and more value. So that's what I did. I figured out how I can create little tidbits of content and put them out on a regular basis by not stretching myself thin. And so that's what I'm doing. But it doesn't happen overnight. I didn't put this show out 6 days a week for 1 week and then get upset because I wasn't seeing the results I wanted to. I am still doing it. I'm still working on it. I have you to thank for that. So building a business takes time. Make sure whatever it is you want, you spend time with it, you work on it, and you have some patience. So that's what I have for you today. Hard lessons are hard to learn. Once again, I hope this helps. I hope you're finding something in these episodes that helps you with your business and helps you throughout the day, whether you're still an employee working on a side hustle, whether you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, whatever the case is, Let me know what you think about these episodes. Let me know what you've learned. Let me know what you want to hear, and we'll definitely get to it. We're starting something new. I haven't mentioned this in any previous episodes, but we are doing long-form content on Saturdays now. So I know I mentioned 6 days a week, but now we're going to have an episode 7 days a week. So be sure to check that out. I appreciate you, and I will see you on the next episode of Morning Brews.